thought my body would adjust, but it is not happening.
Okay, we're gonna shake out this reef and get moving here.
Hopefully this wind will carry us a long way because we're trying to beat a storm.
There you go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sailing Sweet Ruca. I'm Kate, this is Curtis, and Roxy the dog. Sailing from Brazil to Uruguay can be really tricky with strong southerly winds against north currents, making for mixed up seas that can prevent any progress south. So we stopped in one of the last remaining protected harbors to wait for one of those storm systems to pass. We nearly got ran over by a 60-foot fishing vessel before Curtis turned on the engine and swerved us out of the way just in time. Unfortunately, it moved our anchor enough that we did eventually drag off the cliff and have to reset the anchor in the dark. Now the skies were clear and the weather was beautiful, but we knew this calm weather would be short-lived. We would have to sail at peak performance and hope the weather forecast timing was as accurate as possible. For now, we wait an extra day in the safe harbor of Imbituba, conserving our fuel on this day without wind and catching up on some extra rest before one of our most trying passages yet. If you'd like to keep watching us make our progress towards Cape Horn, click subscribe and come along for the ride.
Good morning here from Imbituba, Brazil. We are still at anchor. We are waiting for the south wind to pass through, and then we'll get some north breeze, and then we can head south a little bit more. It looks like the ship is about to head out from behind us here, so that'll be fun to watch. This is a really active cargo and container port. So it looks like they get about 200 ships a year, and this is the only private port in all of Brazil. So this is not owned by the government. This is owned by a private company. So that's what we know about it. Kate is downstairs cooking us some eggs and bacon. So we're super excited to have a nice American breakfast here in Brazil. And we've got our coffee. Hopefully you do too at home. And we're just going to enjoy this beautiful Saturday morning. What do we have?
Egg and bacon sandwiches.
All right.
Toast and bacon.
Whee!
Here's to the start of a great passage. All right.
Want some bacon? Good? Good. Camera off. I'll get Roxy.
Dishwasher extraordinaire. Also doubles as a vacuum cleaner. Oh, dog's lover. She's got some on her nose.
Did you get it, Roxy?
You get it? You
Get
missed
it.
a spot. What kind of the plate over here?
It was nice to have a day with the boat to ourselves. No elections, no news, just one pure day to sit and watch ships go by. But we knew it was important to get our rest for what lay ahead. It seemed like a good time to get clean and fresh for the upcoming 800-mile passage as well.
Stay, Roxy.
I probably showered in like 60-degree weather as a kid. Yeah, this is definitely the time to do the shower while there's sun on the stern. Woo! Nothing like a shower with cargo ship parking behind you. In 60 degrees of weather, which I'm sure it looks warm on camera, but it is absolutely freezing. Trying to keep the condensation out of the boat.
As we head south into cooler temperatures, condensation builds up inside the boat. So while it was slightly warmish and sunny, I decided to shower on the stern to keep the inside of the boat nice and dry. At least we have warm water from our hot water heater to take away some of the chill.
Oh my god. I don't know if I'm just gonna like throw my sweatpants on after this or Thought my body would adjust, but it is not happening. All right.
Freighter's gonna crash over there.
I know.
Over here. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you have your coffee. It's about 8:30 here on Sunday, and we are about to leave Imbituba in Brazil, which is the last port we can really go into safely. So we've got about a 4-day sail, just a little under 4 days, to Pirapolis, Uruguay. And that's our next stop, our next country. And there we hope to get some more stuff done and continue prepping to go even further south. The forecast for this next leg is a little bit downwind, a lot of nothing, then possibly some thunderstorms if we can't outrun them. So we're probably going to try and burn a lot of diesel to get a little bit further south, which sucks because diesel is really expensive right now. That is the plan right now. Enjoy your Sunday video with us.
This has been coffee with Curtis.
This has been coffee with Curtis. Salud.
To Uruguay.
We only had 3 days until the next big weather system, but the passage was expected to take 4 days, so we hammered on the motor in an attempt to get as far south as possible, until the wind filled in. Any southern progress we could make would mean less time in the open ocean with big swell and waves.
Okay, we're gonna shake out this reef and get moving here. We'll see what kind of speed we can get without the spinnaker. But if we boogie, the routing looks pretty good if we go offshore here. So we can definitely beat the storms and everything if we do that. And we'll just have to go a little faster, which we're capable of. So let's see if we can get this bus moving.
While we were comfortable sailing with the reefed main, we really wanted to eat up those miles south, so we decided to shake out the reef and gain a little speed before a good-sized system was expected to come later that night.
We are finally off and sailing. We went a little bit to port and we're going to take a little run around of the coast of Brazil here to try and grab a little bit more wind offshore rather than stay close to the shore and to the beach. There's supposed to be a little bit more wind this way. Looks like we're going to have anywhere from 15 to about 20 to 22 knots. Maybe some gusts to a little bit more, which I think that's going to be pretty good for us. So hopefully we can actually stay in the range of being able to use our white sails configuration rather than have to get out the spinnaker. But we'll see how this goes, and we'll report in later from the nav station and show you our current optimal routes. All right, guys, here's us, and here's a couple possible routes that we can take. So the first set of routes is down around the outside. And then another route, if we do a lot of motoring, is closer to shore. Okay, here's our route down around the outside. And then here's this inshore motoring route. So inshore is a really good route actually, but it's going to take about 300 liters of fuel. So that is basically everything that we have on us right now. And I'm not a big fan of running the engine that much. So we're looking at going around the outside, and the weather looks pretty good to do this. This black line is our line at about 75% polar. So this is a real cruising line. And I think these are our more race lines, 90% to 110% polars. So we're probably going to split these difference somewhere. And then we're going to motor probably in here somewhere just to get us through some of the lighter stuff. Should be pretty much all downwind and reaching, maybe some super light air upwind that we motor in until we get down here to the bottom. And down here is where it can get tricky. There's lots of current going this way, right here. And you can see we're going to have a little bit of buildup of wind and reaching. So I don't always trust these. We don't know if the wind is going to maybe come a little more out of here and it'll be a little more upwind, or if it'll stay to the right here and be a little more downwind. Time will tell. But this is what it looks like as we come on in. Looks like we've only got one ship out here to worry about right now, and he's got a CPA of 5 miles. So he's going to go ahead of us in about an hour. So nothing to worry about there. Okay guys, there is your weather routing rundown of what we're doing on this trip. And our target is to do this in about a little less than 4 days. All right, sorry, going to be a little wind noise in this. It's blowing about 20 right now, and our wind angle's about 145 to 150. See, we've got the full main up. Autopilot's driving. He's doing a good job. It's starting to look a little cold out there. Kind of a blackish looking sea. The decks are wet. That means we're making good speed. Other than it's windy and it's a little chilly. Feels like fall sailing on the Great Lakes, back where we're from. Some good sized waves out here that we're able to kind of pick up on. And there's a good surf you can hear. That's how it's going, guys. I'll leave the camera up here so you guys can just enjoy the ride for a little bit. All right, enjoy what it's like to drive the sweet Ruca for a few miles. Well, the sun is about to go down on day one. I can't tell you how good it feels to be back offshore. It took a minute to kind of get settled in again, but it just feels excellent being out here in the wind, in the waves. It's so refreshing being under sail with nothing around. It's just that ultimate feel of freedom that you really just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to enjoy the sunset, and you should too.
After the sunset, we decided to reef the main as the winds were picking up speed and it was safer to do in the daylight. Ideally, we would love to be able to reef entirely from the cockpit, but for now, our second reef requires us to go to the mast, so Curtis clips in to hook on the new tack. I head us up a bit to take the pressure off the sail so it will come down easier and to prevent the battens from getting caught on the spreaders. Then Curtis comes back to the cockpit to finalize the reef and optimize sail trim.
Second reef works pretty good, I think.
Slowed us down to 8 knots.
As night settled, the waves grew a bit choppier, so we decided to put on the mainsail preventer. We have both a Waldar boom brake and a preventer to keep our boat as safe as possible while sailing downwind in big breeze and waves. Now that we have a good sail setup, it was time to get some rest and watch the radar for any boats that might be out here. As we get a little further offshore, the likelihood of a run-in with fishing boats without AIS is less likely, but not impossible. Well guys, we just put 2 reefs in the main and a reef or 2 in the jib. We put the preventer on. It is gusting over 30 knots and blowing anywhere from 20 to 30. Highest boat speed I saw was 11 knots, 11.1. Didn't catch it on the speedo. That's the true wind speed alarm saying gusts over 30. So anyways, yeah, I didn't catch the 11 surf, but we've been surfing anywhere from 8 to 10. It can sometimes be strange to hear voices coming on over the radio when you don't see any vessels on AIS or radar, as you can tell by the perplexed look on my face. Perhaps this was a sign of things to come.
So that was too far away to really understand it. Anyway, it's been super wavy, and Curtis dialed in the autopilot, and now we're driving pretty good, pretty comfortable. So hopefully this wind will carry us a long way because we're trying to beat a storm. I can't foresee too much sleep tonight. It's gonna be a wild and crazy night. Maybe we can get some naps tomorrow. That's sailing for you. Let's take a look at the chart.
It was time to jibe and angle our direction towards land a bit now that we were offshore in good breeze. For some reason, it always seems easier in the daylight. We already moved the preventer, so then to be extra safe we furled the jib to help it around the inner forestay. We trimmed in the main to reduce the force of its swing and then turned the boat. We attached the preventer on the other side and then unfurled the jib. Now it was a race to beat the weather system to the Bay of Mar del Plata. Next, we find ourselves offshore in challenging conditions when we finally get hit by a weather system coming up from the Southern Ocean. And we come across what appear to be illegal fishing vessels that make for a very dangerous night. Will it ever be uneventful? A special thank you to our patrons for making these videos possible. Check out our website for more vlogs, blogs, and other goodies. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time!